time to get fit. It's time to eat right. It's time to change your life with Peter's Principles. Welcome to a special edition of Peter's Principles. It's a show dedicated to changing your life through proper nutrition and exercise. See, over the last 20 years, my goal has been to motivate and educate each and every one of you to be more disciplined at the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table, to take care of the one model year, the one machine that God has given you, your body. When I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. There's no cure for it, and I could have very easily felt sorry for myself. But instead, it has motivated me to be the man I am today. I want to introduce you to a special friend of mine. He was a great motivator and educator as a teacher in a school. His name is Kirk Pedersen, and he's helped not only my kids, but thousands of children. He's the picture of health. But recently, he was dealt a bad hand of cards. An accident has changed his life forever. This is Kirk Pedersen's story.
It was really just an ordinary day in October for me. I've bow hunted for almost 20 years, and I just walked out to the woods and was ready to enjoy a hunt. And I climbed up into my tree stand, and as soon as I put all my weight on it, the chain broke on the tree stand, and I woke up on the grass, and then I knew life had changed.
For 6.5 long hours, Kirk laid in the woods, drifting in and out of consciousness until help arrived.
From that field, they actually airlifted me by helicopter to U of M. I think it was the next morning that they performed the surgery on my neck.
Someone with an injury at C4, C5 would be expected to be able to breathe on their own, would be able to shrug their shoulders, and then, depending on the extent of the damage, might be able to move their arms a bit.
So physically fit, to see something like that taken away just doesn't seem fair.
When I walked into the weight room, the door was shut, which wasn't right. The lights were off. I was crushed. I was sitting there. I didn't know what to do. My teacher wasn't here, and more importantly, my friend.
The night after my surgery, so the second night, the doctor came in and told me that there was a good chance that I wouldn't move any part of my body from the neck down, or basically the shoulder area down. That's when it first hit me.
Life-changing experience, but it wasn't a life-ending experience, that I could still have a fulfilling and rewarding life. And I do, you know, I didn't choose for this to happen to me, but I had choices in how I could handle the situation and deal with the situation. That was in my control.
As my brother often tells me, this is not how it ends. So I try to live by that every day.
I don't think that an injury like this has ever encountered a participant like Kirk Pedersen.
He's been doing rehab for about 6 months now. It would be easy for him at this point to simply go through the motions of it. He definitely approaches each session with just hard work and great attitude and gives it 100%.
Humbled me to the bone after listening to my students, my friends, and my family, and my colleagues. I've realized that there is more to me than my body, that I can still make an influence, and I can still change lives as a teacher. From a chair, keep the prayers and to keep the messages coming, because they are a driving force in my recovery. I think about them every day, and I can feel the love that's being sent my way, and it's made me realize that I don't belong in a hospital. I don't belong in a bed. I belong teaching, and I thank them so greatly for that.
You know, this baseball season, I have dedicated my season to Kirk, and they embroidered his initials on my hat.
I never really had a hero in my life, but he truly is a hero to me, and not only me, but to everyone who's had him in the school and who knows him.
The earliest recorded records for spinal cord injuries date back to Egypt in the 1700s, where they wrote on scrolls ailments not to be treated. Today, it's a totally different story.
Well, I think we're really entering the golden age of treatment of spinal cord injury. Well, there's a phenomenon called neuroplasticity. Tissue that is spared can be induced to take over the function of tissue that was lost at the time of the original injury. We ask patients to engage in intensive physical exercise, coming 3 times a week for 3 hours at a time, to get up on a treadmill and with the support of therapy staff, try and perform walking motions, even if they're unable to do that independently. And what that does is to try and help the nervous system to rewire itself, to kind of reroute the signals around the area of the damage.